Welcome, everybody. The NFL season is over, which means it's time to look forward to the NFL offseason, and that includes mock drafts. Today, we're going to be going over a Tampa Bay Buccaneers 2023 NFL mock draft. All right, as mentioned, we're going to be taking a look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as they do a 2023 NFL mock draft on a mock draft simulator. We're going to be using the NFL mock draft database here. This is a good one because I think they have all the players who are in the draft. They kind of move the big board a lot of who's going up and who's going down, and they use kind of the internet's data on it. There will be some guys who fall in the draft that I maybe don't agree with, but overall, I think it's a very, very good simulator. For the time being. And also, we're going to be rejecting all trades. Just want to kind of keep it realistic with the picks that these teams have. Trades will definitely happen in the future, but it's kind of hard to predict that, and it kind of throws off the rest of the mock draft if you do that. So we're going to stick with the picks that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have. Obviously, the Buccaneers in a state of transition now. Tom Brady retiring. Don't know if he's going to come back this time. Seems like he's pretty dead set on retiring. They did make the playoffs last year. But without Tom Brady, they might have a lot of things to kind of clean up and fix because they pretty much made the playoffs because they were in the NFC South, which was just a bad division. They're going to need to figure some things out. It seems like they're okay with Kyle Trask at quarterback for next year. They're not really in a position to draft one in this class. We may say we'll see one drop when we do the simulator. But they might be going in the free agent pool to try to get someone to compete with Kyle Trask. I don't know, but it's just going to be a tough situation here. For Kyle Trask and the Buccaneers moving forward. But let's get started with this mock draft. We're going to have them at pick number 19 to start. They are, I think, again, looking for a quarterback if one falls, but again, none of them fall here. And that is probably realistic, rejecting all these trades. And then you kind of look at, for me, they need edge rusher, they need corners. The defense needs to be fixed if you're not in range to get one of these quarterbacks. They do need a new running back, but I don't know if they'd make the play for Bijan Robinson. They do have Rashad White. I don't know if they would go that way. I'm going to go with Keely Ringo, the corner out of Georgia. He had a pretty good combine. He's very, very athletic. I think he might be better in zone coverage, but Jamel Dean's a free agent. Logan Ryan, who, yes, is more of a safety, is probably not going to come back to the team. So go improve that secondary because you might have some guys leaving this upcoming season. That takes us to pick number 50 in the second round. And with this one, I love Will McDonald, the fourth, out of Iowa State. He's a very high pass rush win rate at Iowa State. He's a little bit undersized, but I think he could have a really good career in the NFL, maybe better than what he had. You got to improve this defense if you're going to compete next year, or if you're going to give Kyle Trask a chance. You already have some weapons on offense, and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. If you don't trade them, that can make them successful. Yes, you might want to get some offensive linemen at some point in this draft too. But I would say that's pretty good. All right, next pick up. I mean, Hendon Hooker is very, very encouraging here. And Tanner McKee might go a little bit higher than this, too. The safeties as well. As mentioned, Logan Ryan's probably not coming back. I think we're going to go Hendon Hooker. This is the third round. It's not the end of the world. He's a guy who's 25 years old and coming off a torn ACL, but he was very good at Tennessee at protecting the football. He's more of a one-read offense, so he's a developmental guy. But if Kyle Trask doesn't work out, maybe you just get another guy to kind of help out here. You could wait and try to get someone else, but I do think Hooker's a top 5 quarterback in this class, despite his age and torn ACL. I think you roll with it and see what you get out of him. And you can still have plenty of picks here at the back end of the draft to kind of get some depth and get some solid players. All right, with pick number 155, Tank Bigsby is definitely encouraging to me. Kenny McIntosh, Kendre Miller. It's a lot of running backs. There's not as many safeties here. So I'm going to go Brandon Joseph, the safety out of Notre Dame. Excellent ball skills. Started his career at Northwestern. I think he had a really, really productive time at Northwestern. At Notre Dame, it wasn't as much productive, but I still think you kind of got to see what he was able to accomplish. Maybe not the most athletic guy, but his intelligence and his football instincts are something that I think will be coveted. So you really do improve that secondary, and according to the mock draft database simulator, you get a lot of these needs already fixed with this draft, or at least hoping to be fixed with this draft. So let's keep it rolling here. Pick number 175. You do have Rashad White, but let's get Deuce Vaughn, the running back out of Kansas State. A playmaker, shortest running back in combine history, shortest player in combine history at 5'5", but man, can he make things happen when the ball's in his hands. A guy you're going to want to use on third downs. Maybe let Rashad White handle the early work. I'm not saying he can't be a passing down back either, but Deuce Vaughn is a guy who that is his skill set and can provide you some really good passing attack as you move forward. Pick number 181. Jaron Hall, if we didn't take Hendon Hooker, would be a good pick. I think we're going to go Owen Popo, the linebacker out of Auburn. He's a little bit lighter, but he's really fast. I think he's a guy who flies around the field. Levante David is a free agent. I know there's going to be a lot of effort to bring him back. It seems like he wants to be Buccaneer long term. But he's a guy who can provide depth in the future. At this rate in the draft, you're getting a guy who can start on special teams, maybe you can develop, but his speed is something that you can't really teach. So we will go with Owen Popo in that one, which takes us to pick 196. And Jackson Kirkland, the offensive tackle from Washington, kind of seems like he's been around forever with Washington. The offensive line was also a little bit of an issue, kind of hoping maybe they can fix that with the free agency. It's still really early in this process. We don't know what free agents they're going to get, but I think getting an offensive lineman, even if he's not going to start, at least for depth, is going to be really good. You could also go interior as well, but I'll go with Jackson Kirkland. He's a really good player out of Washington. Next one up, we will go with Moro Ojomo out of Texas, an interior defensive lineman. Help build that depth on the defensive line. I think he's this guy who is going to be a depth guy probably most of his career. Maybe he develops into something, but at the very least, you get another one of your needs over here identified by the mock draft database filled out. And then when the last one here, let's go... Oh, a lot of options here. Let's go with DeMarco Helms, the safety out of Alabama. Yes, we've already gotten some secondary players, but as mentioned, there's some guys who are going to leave. These guys are more picks who are going to be on special teams anyway. I don't know exactly what you're going to get out of these guys, but overall, do like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers draft in this one. Keely Ringo, you help that corner position. A really athletic guy, again, maybe better for zone coverage, but maybe moves to safety later in his career. I mean, some people think he's more of a safety, maybe because he has tight hips. Will McDonald, the fourth in the second round, he's a guy who's been rising up draft boards steadily as people find out about his pass rush win rate. Athletic guy, a little bit undersized. Hendon Hooker, the quarterback out of Tennessee, probably would go a little bit higher if he didn't tear his ACL and that age concern. But a really good quarterback, and I think worthy of a third-round pick, especially when you're the Buccaneers, and you don't know if you're going to get a free agent quarterback. You don't know if Kyle Trask is going to be the guy. You're probably not going to get a first-round quarterback. So get one in the middle rounds who maybe turns into something as you develop him and Kyle Trask. Brandon Joseph, a very instinctual safety for Notre Dame and Northwestern in his early days. Deuce Vaughn, a smaller guy, but can help out the passing attack especially. Owen Popo, really fast linebacker. Jackson Kirkland and Moro Ojomo helping in the trenches on the offense and defensive side of the ball, just getting some depth. And then DeMarco Helms, the safety out of Alabama, probably going to be a special teams guy, and that's all right. You're in the 7th round at pick number 253. So overall, really like this draft for the Bucs. Let me know what you guys think. Also, my turn to remind everyone to like and subscribe to the channel. We'll be doing mock drafts up and through the 2023 NFL drafts. For now, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.